Council meeting for January 14th. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Any persons wishing to address City Council on any item of today's agenda may do so at this time. Hold on. You have to step up to the mic.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera. I object to the payment to Inglewood today because Inglewood's tax dollars should not be spent to mislead Inglewood's voters and deny them important information about their city and about their elected officials. For anyone who still doesn't know, Inglewood today is not a real newspaper. Inglewood's elected officials use all of our tax dollars to finance a tool of advertising and propaganda. Overall, Inglewood today doesn't even try to be fair or accurate. The paper's crooked publisher, Willie Brown, who is currently being sued for libel, knows that his job is to act as cheerleader and hitman for this council, saying nothing but good things about the mayor and bending over backwards to hide his incompetence, his dishonesty, and his deliberate and repeated violations of the law and people's civil rights. Willie Brown regularly criticizes, ridicules, and lies about critics of the mayor, but when a real newsworthy story comes up proving that Mayor James Butts has no respect for the law, civil rights, or his position as council chairperson, Willie Brown and his writers hide those stories from the voters at all costs. A few weeks ago, I provided members of the public with a 4-page letter that was sent to the council from the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, from the DA's Public Integrity Division. That letter advised this council that the city attorney and the DA advised this council and the city attorney that the DA had found James Butts guilty of repeatedly violating state law and my right to free speech. The DA didn't say Butts might have violated the law or that he came close to violating the law. No, the DA said that they found that James Butts did violate the law and civil rights. Now, any real newspaper would have put that on the front page. But did Willie Brown tell his readers about the letter or what happened? No. Even though I spoke about it in front of him and personally gave him a copy of it, Willie Brown deliberately hid this important information because he is not a real publisher. He is just a liar for hire. And if you go to Google or YouTube and type in liar for hire, Willie Brown, go to part 2 and you will see what I mean. Being a liar for hire is Brown's job, and people like Mayor Butts will pay him very well, both from his own pocket and from the taxpayers' pockets, because Brown is willing to do the dirty work for the mayor that the mayor wants done, and hide the fact that the mayor has a clear history of being a crooked cop and now a crooked mayor. I think it was in November, after lying about it for almost a year, that James Butts finally admitted that he had violated people's civil rights when he was police chief in Santa Monica. A mayor who was police chief, who admitted to violating people's real civil rights, is a real story. But of course, neither Willie Brown nor any of his writers wrote anything about it. They didn't write about the mayor's confession because Willie Brown's job is to hide those type of things from the public.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. I just want to ask this council a question.
But you got to tell us what
This
topic
mayor
you're
spoke for 3 minutes.
Well, we get to what topic you want to talk on. You want
And
to talk
I-
the payment, the same payment? Is that what you want to talk about?
Beg pardon?
You want to talk about the same payment of the bills that he talked about?
Yeah, same.
All right.
Yeah, same thing. I don't see anything that he talked about on this agenda, and I think the council should stop that because, if it's not on the agenda, it shouldn't be discussed. Thank you.
Yes, you just go on up and talk.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. First, a Happy New Year to all of you. And I'm speaking on payment of the bills. Now, we have approximately $17 million due on the 31st of January, payable to the state of California. Now, it's nowhere that I'm able to follow the financial condition of this city when it's not on the payment of the bills and the dispersing of the monies. For instance, we $1.1 million with outstanding debt. It's no way I can keep up with that because it's not on payment of the bills, and I have no way I can get the information of it being paid, and of course, with the outstanding bills being decreased. Now, fortunately, we've been able to pay it. And this is what's called the trust fund that is holding all of the successor agency money in trust to ensure that the bills are paid as they are approved. And here again, I've been asking you about the successor agency. You do not meet. The residents do not have the opportunity to speak on anything that you're approving, giving it to the Oversight Commission. That's a violation. And I'm hopeful that if in fact we have an attorney, a city attorney, don't know if we have one or not since the retirement of Mr. Saunders. You haven't had a meeting, and the other meeting you had was closed to the residents, and I have no information. So what I'm saying to you is we need some housekeeping done, particularly paying attention to the charter. And particularly, we don't need any more litigation. We've had abundance of litigation. So I'm saying to you, the leadership, and Mr. City Attorney, you in particular, you are responsible. Now, either you're going to accept the responsibility or resign. In council, you are responsible for him. He's a contract employee. And in your charter, you are responsible for contract employees. And I think it's time for the council to come up to speed and understand what's in the charter and get a charter commission focus what's going on, because you're out of tune. The leadership is not here. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can address anything, right?
No, actually, you can only address things on the agenda right now, but if you just want to have an open comment, you'll have to wait till the end of the meeting, and there's 3 minutes of open session.
Is
Right?
parking on the agenda, is that?
No, not right now.
Oh, you address that at the end?
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Good afternoon. I have some concerns about the city. There's a lot of things in the budget department that hasn't been matched.
Sorry, right now you have to talk about something that's on the agenda. So if you don't have an agenda item that you want to talk about.
So we're not talking about budgeting or anything right now?
Not right now. But
Okay,
what
that's
you
fine.
can
I'll
do, you can come back at the end of the meeting and talk. Yes, sir. We'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 2 and H1.
Warrant register.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson. Padilla. Morales. Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Item 2, CSA 3, H2 and F1. Open the Housing Authority and
A quorum is
Finance
present.
Authority.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members Dodson. Padilla. Morales. Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds, I'm sorry.
Aye. PH1.
Public hearing to consider amendment to Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to include provisions to allow billboards on islands, triangular and irregular shaped corner residentially zoned properties.
Continue the public hearing to January 28th, 2014 at 7 p.m. PH2.
Public hearing to consider an ordinance, Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to modify regulations related to super graphic displays.
Can also continue that public hearing for January 28th, 2014
Mayor?
at 7.
Can I just
Yes.
say one thing on consent calendar number 5? We need to remove and rubber tiling, and it would just be equipment for Rogers Park. Is that correct?
Oh, so
Okay,
remove the
thank
two
you.
words rubber tiling.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So back to PH2, continue public hearing for January 28, 2014 at 7 p.m. Consent calendar items 3, 4, and 5 with the modification to item 5 that removes the words rubber and tiling.
So moved.
Madam Clerk?
A second.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
I
As-
move consent calendars 3 through 4 and 5.
Second.
I thought that's what we just did.
No, you moved the amendment.
Oh, okay, what he felt he was, what he was proposing was the removal of those two words, and so. So
okay.
now we'll move the consent calendar.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye, SPH1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider the adoption of zoning code amendment to modify miscellaneous regulations, including assembly use in the C1 zone home occupation regulations, and eliminate references to the redevelopment agencies.
Set the public hearing for January 28th, 2014 at 7 p.m. DR1.
Staff report recommending approval of amendment number 1 and 2 to the welfare to work vocational intermediary in direct services contract with the WTW 13001 by and between the County of Los Angeles and the City of Inglewood, serving as the administrative entity for the South Bay Workforce Investment Board.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor
Mayor, if I could
Butts.
just comment real quick on that.
Comment? And I
Mr.
vote
Fields.
aye as well, but go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. Fields, if I could just get the information, part of it was to increase the funding for vocational second language, but since it's increased, I'm assuming that they already have classes. If I could just get that information about where they're held on the last one.
CM1. CM1. A1.
Thank you. Thank you. As to closed session number 1, it was a confidential conference with the labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6A with the various bargaining groups. The first one being SEIU, the second one being IMEO, IMEO, IPOA, IPMA, and IPCMA. The negotiator for the city is this Artie Fields, the city manager, and Jack Hoffman, chief negotiator, human resource labor relations consultant. Discussions were held, no further action was taken. As to CS2, Mayor, I believe that the city councils may be recessing to continue that.
Yes.
As for CS3, which is closed session confidential, privileged existing litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9A, which is Alliance of Regional Solution to Airport Congestion, RSAC, for the City of Los Angeles, and with the consolidated as to the City of Inglewood versus City of Los Angeles. Discussion was held, no further action was taken. Regarding closed session number 4, attorney-client privilege, pending litigation regarding Brian Reagan versus City of Inglewood under Government Code Section 54956.9A. Discussion was held, no further action was taken. CS5 was a closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege under pending litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9A, regarding a PERB complaint under LA-CE-759 regarding Talai Smith, Talai. Discussion was held, no further action was taken. As to CS6, a closed section, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation regarding a claim of Carl Warren and Company. There's a request for a motion for payment of the bill.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Thank you. As to CS7, a closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation regarding the claim of Jill Klein arbitrator. There's a request for a motion for payment of the bill.
So moved.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
The last item is for under CS8 and CSA-1, closed session confidential regarding a pending litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9A, City of Inglewood et al. Versus the Inglewood Neighborhood Housing Services, INHS. Discussion was held and no further action was taken at this time.
Thank you. CC1,
No comments, thank you, Mayor.
and there are no reports under A2, Mr. City Attorney.
That is correct.
There's no city treasurer's report under CT1. H3, we've already called the Housing Authority to order.
I think we already did that
I-
item. Oh, no, we have not.
H3,
Staff report recommending approval of administrative plan that describes the discretionary policies and practices for submission to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Move approval.
second, Madam Clerk.
Agency members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Public comments. Any members of the public wish to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time.
I can talk about the parking, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, my problem is, now, I've been up here more than once about the parking. Now, I've gotten about 5 parking tickets to where I feel it's not in my control, because on the days where it comes to, they pick up the trash or sweeping or anything. Now, there's only one side of the street you can park on. Now, if I'm driving from almost 3-4 blocks and there's nowhere to park except those spaces that you can go to that you're not supposed to park, and I still, like, what are you supposed to do? Do you have to show proof that you can't park no more? And I come down here and I explain to them about that, and I've come here more than once trying to seek either George Dotson or Mayor Butts, because it's not getting resolved. I'm not gonna steady pay for parking tickets if there's nowhere to park. So it seems like you guys have limited parking spaces, and something needs to be done about that, because they're telling me to appeal it. Why am I I have to pay, first of all, to appeal it. So if I pay and I appeal it, I go to court, I pay for a parking ticket that I feel that is like out of my control. Like, if there's nowhere to park, there's nowhere to park. Like, and then I go down there, they're rude, they tell me, oh, well, if you don't like it, why don't you move? Are you gonna pay my moving fee to move? I'm not gonna move, that's not my problem. And then, for example, on Friday, I got another parking ticket. There was a meter that wasn't working. So I tell him that, oh, well, you should have called the number. That's not my responsibility. When it comes to parking, there's nowhere to park, the meter's broken, that's not my responsibility. Apparently, it's the city's responsibility. I'm not gonna pay for parking, like I said. And I'm gonna keep repeating myself, and I'm gonna keep coming to meetings, because it's ridiculous. It's just, you know, it was Christmas Eve, I got a parking ticket. Like, they're over here, the city's over here, they're closed, everything's closed, but they're still handing out parking tickets. It doesn't make sense. Like, what's the point on appealing it if you gotta pay for it first? They need to do something, and something needs to be done about it. You know, the people downstairs at the ticket department are rude, and I have a short temper, so I try to be nice, because I'm getting very impatient. Like, I don't deserve the snappy attitudes. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not gonna pay almost $500 in parking tickets when there's nothing I can do about that. So something needs to be done, and that's just it, 'cause it's ridiculous, you know.
Thank you. Come on forward, sir.
Good afternoon again. I have some concerns about the city, about the budgeting and the financing. We have a lot of employees that have been laid off from the city but yet we have no record of where the funds are going to and the money of the city of Inglewood. As a resident and as a taxpayer of Inglewood, we should be notified where our funds are going. I'm getting people from the city coming to me saying I'm getting laid off because Mayor Butts wants to subcontract us. I think that's wrong. Why hurt the people that are trying to help the city and making money from the city instead of pushing them aside and giving them to a side contractor? I think that's wrong. It's immoral. It's not fair to our city, and you guys need to realize that. I think the city needs to work together instead of working apart. $18 million to the farm, that's a lot of money. Why lay off all the workers again and give money to the farm, but you can't keep your employees on? I have a lot of questions on that. I really, really would like to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, and staff. I'm Aldine Sly from the 1st District. Very unhappy about the meetings that you have the citizens locked out of. The meeting on December 30th, the doors were locked, the elevators were locked, nobody could get in. You had your closed door meetings. We don't know what you discussed. We don't know what kind of finances you have planned to pay out to whomever. But I've complained about these meetings not being scheduled according to times that citizens can come and participate. And you keep doing it. You keep changing the times. You keep changing the dates. And we're not aware. And I don't care how many papers or whatever you put them in to advertise. We need to know, after this meeting, we need to know when the next meeting is going to be and when you're really going to have it so that we can attend. The other thing is, I hope the citizens are, especially as senior citizens, are aware of how you're being billed on your monthly statements. I came in Monday after New Year's and asked why I had not received my January statement from the city of Inglewood. And I was told, well, after all, you know, we've been closed for 2 weeks. That's quite a long vacation for Christmas. And we haven't sent out the bills yet. I still haven't received them, so I came in this morning. And they printed me out a copy of a statement that would be due this month. And they reached back and got a bill from what I paid in July, added it on as a delinquent bill, and so I'm ending up having to pay a large sum of money for the month of January. And it required me to go back into my records to check. So senior citizens, make sure you scrutinize your statements when you receive them. Because, you know, now I see where maybe you can get a little, the city can get a little extra funding if they're going to charge you twice for something you've already paid for. I resent it. And I will be going down to finance to show them. Help the citizens for a change. Stop helping those people who are conducting their business through you, because that's what I believe is happening.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera, and I just want to clear up a couple of things. First of all, I talked about the warrant register. Now, just because Mr. Agee isn't good enough to look at the warrant registers to know what bills are being paid, he needs to keep his mouth shut. He's just showing his ignorance.
No, Mr.
Now,
Agee, hold on. Hold on, Mr. Agee.
Again, same time last time, Mr. Agee spoke up saying that if the district attorney would have seen the meeting, that the district attorney's office said that James Butts violated the law, the district attorney would have thrown me out. That's just ignorance, and this city should stop being run by ignorant people. And your pathetic exploitation of these ignorant people, just because no one else is going to support you, makes you look bad. So I'm asking this council to remove James Butts as city council chairperson because the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has found that Butts was guilty of repeatedly violating state law and my civil rights by abusing his power as city council chair for his own personal reasons. Now, how corrupt is a city council when the DA says that James Butts violated the law on at least 2 separate occasions, on tape, and then they don't even vote on it? Because I asked them to remove him in December. They don't vote on it, they don't discuss it. The answer is very corrupt. When you don't even look into the idea of at least temporarily taking some power away from someone, when the DA has shown that they have broken the law with that power, then you're just a rubber stamp. You're no one. He's the dictator and you're just doing what he says to do. It's pathetic. Also, last time I was here, James Butts again demonstrated that he doesn't care about the rules, because I spoke about his being found to have violated the law and civil rights. He closes public comments. He lets Alex Padilla talk, and then he reopens public comments to let Miss Austin talk, who, when the camera's on, you can see she's sitting there through all the public comments. She never made one move to this podium. And just like the mayor helped Willie Agee tonight, oh, Mr. Agee, you still want to talk about the register? Because he didn't know what he was talking about. That's the same thing he did with Miss Austin. Oh, Miss Austin, you look like you wanted to talk about something. That's how pathetic this mayor is at his job. She looked like she wanted to talk about something. That's just an excuse because I had made him look bad. I had shown that he had violated the law, violated civil rights, and he needed somebody to defend him. That's all it was. Stop looking at the clock. I got 25 seconds. It's pathetic. And by the way, for Mackey and Brown, I didn't call Miss Austin a joke. I called Mayor Butts a joke because he doesn't know how to do his job. He's a crooked cop when he was at Santa Monica, and he's a crooked mayor here. Hey, that's the second warning.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Benville, 1st District. So happy to be here today. I think we're getting ready to go into an era where we're going to prosper in this city, and a lot of the doubters will begin to see what's really going on in this city and the planning that is taken to get to this point. First of all, I'd just like to express my happiness with approving that equipment over at Rogers Gym. It's something that's been needed for some time. It's not just that, but we need to expand the facilities all over the city, especially for the young people. I've been a component for the young people for a long time, and I think that it's past due, of course, that we do some things for them, and I'm sure that in your conscience you are doing that now. We need gyms. We need a facility to handle everybody in Inglewood, not just one side or the next side. I mean, we need a facility that has everybody in one place so that we can properly serve the community, our young people, and getting them active and into activities and that sort of thing. We need more leagues. We need more physical activities as soccer, baseball, football. We need all that, because that's what keeps kids out of trouble. I grew up in a community where there was plenty of it, and I never seen trouble. Never seen trouble. And I know a lot of the people that are playing soccer, baseball, and football are staying out of trouble. We need that sort of thing. So I'm again encouraging the development of physical and athletic facilities here in this city. So once again, thanks for the equipment over at Rogers Gym. And as far as the forum and the development, I wake up now and every morning, and I don't live that far from the forum, and I can turn that corner and I smile, because I know what that forum is going to mean to us. We're going to have people coming into this city possibly have never been before. Starting with a few nights from tonight, the opening of the forum and the Eagles and people that are supporting the Eagles to live far away from this community. We will get them here. We will get some of their money. You ask, how can we get that money back here? You bring the Eagles and some of those people and Justin Timberlake to this city, and we'll get it, because we have what they want and they will get here. Presented in the right way in which we are, we'll get that money. A couple other things before I get off of here. The taxes that will be produced by that is going to be enormous, and we need to concentrate on that and start collecting those taxes for things to come. I just want to leave you with a couple of words that I've said before, and I'll say them as I leave today, this podium. Hotel California.
Good afternoon. Lynette Lewis, the 4th District. I kind of just want to talk regarding the times of the meetings. I was down here on the 30th, and everything was locked down in terms, even though that the meeting was posted that they were having one, and you could not get in here. There were several people that were out there trying to get into the building. And I think one of the person came, he wanted to pay some kind of bill, but he couldn't. The office was not open. I would think that this is a new year, and I want to say Happy New Year to all of you. And I would hope that we start off this year a little bit different than we've done in the past, without being vindictive and being able to do things to people and threatening and what have you. We need to know what is actually happening in our city. We are the person that pays the bills here. Whatever moves that you guys make up there, we are the persons that are going to have to back you up one way or the other, whether it's financial or whatever, but we are the persons that pays the bill here. And we need to know what is the actual financial condition of our city, you know, and then the other part in terms of all the people that got laid off, and I understand you probably got more that to go, is that where is the justification for laying these people off in terms of looking at a budget or something and saying that we do not have the money, this is where we're laying them off, the money is coming in, we're shortfall here, we're there. That has not been laid out in any order that we are able to look at, okay? Because, you know, those of you that are up there, you do work for us, and you'll be knocking on our door again, asking us to vote for you and whatever. So we would just need to know what is in our city, because a lot of those people that got laid off reside in our city, and that they are not working. That's a tax. They are people who pay taxes in here. So we need to have some type of justification look at some kind of financial justification for you laying these people off and whatever, because I think that our city this year needs to move forward. I think we need to have a more inclusive city council and a connection with the community. You guys have no connection with the community until you need something. So I would suggest that in this new year, that we do better than we've had in the last year, and stop hiding things. We don't need to hide anything. Everybody knows something. I don't care where you put it, it can be found. So a Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. Ms. Lewis, you were that no one's been laid off yet? Okay, and also that we've had several comprehensive budget presentations about the financial condition of the city, the deficit that exists, and the way that we were going to plug it. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that. So there have been a number of meetings where we explained our financial situation and why the proposal was made, but as of yet, no one has been laid off. All right?
Okay, so what about those people that was kind of felt forced off and you had to...
No one was forced to do anything. Okay. No one was forced to do anything.
That's the reason why everything needs to be in the open and very, very clear.
Well, I'm telling you that. No, I understand that. No one was forced to do anything.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
All right.
So I would just hope that your next budget meeting that you have, that you kind of post it, so that we will know when it is. Okay?
Actually, it was at a normal city council meeting, but thank you.
Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. You know, Ms. Lewis, I correct myself. We laid off one person from the 9th floor, an administrator. That's right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Joyce Smith in District 1, and this is the first time I've come to the daytime meeting. I want to know what to do about my parking ticket. But anyway, last week I was going to come, and I got on the computer to see when the meeting was going to be. There was nothing on there about a council meeting, and I found out about this meeting today. But you don't know if the meeting is going to be in the afternoon or in the evening, what time, and I find that very confusing. At one time, I used to kind of keep up with what was going on in the city because I knew the meeting was Tuesday at 7 o'clock and you can come, you know. And so I just kind of wish that we could get back to that stability. But the main thing I wanted to address you about is I would like to see the city of Inglewood join the city of Los Angeles and the other progressive cities in banning plastic bags from the supermarkets. Plastic bags are destroying our oceans. They're creating so much trash. They do not decay. They stay there for hundreds of years, and they just don't do any good, except people may find them convenient. But in other cities, they have it so that the person brings their reusable bag and use it over and over again. And if they want a paper bag, they pay 10 cents for a paper bag. But I think that we are responsible for the environment. There's one planet for all of us, and we must do our part in taking care of our oceans and our marine life. And I would be very proud if the city of Inglewood would join the other progressive cities who have banned the use of plastic bags in supermarkets. And I don't know what it takes to do that, but I would hope that this would come about. But this is what I wanted to address the city council about.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Diane Sembrano, and of course, I'm going to address the lunacy of having these meetings in the afternoon. Every time you've had them in the afternoon, since that vote was cast for those three, and those seniors were imported from a senior facility, complete with wheelchairs and at the aid, using a fake, and I know because my mom was on it, and she attended a function, not a petition. 2 of you knew that, and you agreed to do it anyway. We have not had any of those seniors who came for that adventure. And now we're at a point, we're trying to figure out when is a meeting. 8 o'clock in the morning? Really? That's unrealistic. People who actually have businesses need to be in their place of business at opening, and that excludes them entirely, doesn't it? So this really isn't for people who work, is it? Additionally, you scheduled a meeting for December 30th when you told the public from this dais before your Christmas vacation that you would not have another meeting until January. And you had one anyway. Kind of, sort of, maybe, no, we're not sure, because we weren't allowed in. So I think you have violated so many things in the last month. It's an incredible concept. Look forward to another fun and exciting letter from either the DA or California Aware or First Amendment Coalition. And I don't care how much happy, cheery publicity you're given by others. The reality is those of us who pay the bills and who experience our lives know all that publicity is somewhat unrealistic. It's kind of like, well, what is it, painting the lipstick on something, or maybe putting on too many fake fingernails and fake this and fake that. It's time we start dealing with truth and reality. And unfortunately, you've not dealt kindly with the people who actually keep this city running. I went to the park last night. We had 60 children playing soccer, and the bathroom closest to them was not available. How disgusting is that? You can't supposedly afford the hour and a half $12 guy. Time for some of you to cough up your salaries.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. This is a new year, a new day, a new city, and I'm gonna try to start it off right. I have too much dignity to stand here and demean this council, the people that's in the audience by calling them ignorant. I would like to see this city start the new year off the way this city is progressing. Today is a new day, tomorrow is a new day. The fabulous farm will be producing financing money for this city again. That's a fabulous thing. It took a lot to get it done, but thank God for this council, staff, that they all did that job the way it's supposed to be done. That's why the forum is coming here. That's why Hollywood Park tomorrow will be here. That's why Market Street will be developed. This city is on the move. Like I said before, you do what you have to do. You work for 115,000 people, not 10 or 12 naysayers. You work for the full city. I approve what you're doing. Been in the city for 52 years. Pay plenty of taxes. Plenty of taxes. I'm very well satisfied with the job that you guys have done. I mean, that means the council, staff, and the best city treasurer, the best city clerk city ever had. Keep up the good work. Don't listen to the naysayers, because you're on the right track. 2-3 years from now, I can tell you this will be a brand new city. No matter what the naysayers say, keep up the good work. There's only about 10 of them.
Gil Matthew, District 4. If it wasn't for naysayers, some folks would still be picking cotton in Alabama. But here's the real thing. First, I'd like to congratulate staff, because the problems that you have been dealing with, and including you, Mayor Butts, you inherited a lemon. I mean, a sour lemon. And you're trying hard to make lemonade. It's not easy. And the only sugar for the lemonade is the residents. And I must tell you, without it, it's not gonna work. And the staff, you have my support, total. And I understand what you're dealing with, believe me. I understand very well. It's very adverse. Leadership, you need a lot to be desired. A lot to be desired. And it's not a personal attack, it's reality. You are here to set policy. None of you are qualified to make decisions for this city concerning finance or concerning relationships to the state. You depend upon a competent staff. And that is the problem. You cannot micromanage staff. They'll give an opinion, you have options. But if you override it, it's because of the lack of leadership. Any of you can justify an afternoon meeting, raise your hand or speak to it when you have comments. You can't do it. There's no city in the South Bay that has afternoon meetings. It's unheard of. People are working. And if you want support of me, and I speak for residents, or we the people, you got to change your ways. I'm not gonna support railroading this city into a banana plantation. It's not gonna happen on my watch. Now, Mr. Dolan, Executive Chairman of the forum, we welcome you. You've come here, you roll the dice. This is the first time you have an arena without a sports venue. You've come to the right place. But I must tell you this, and I'll give you this message. Unless it's mutual benefit for this city, it's not gonna work. And you can bring that to the bank.
Good evening, Willie Brown. I'm just honored that I had the opportunity to attend a press conference right here in our city in Inglewood this afternoon. And I'm betting that everybody in this building in Inglewood, and chances are throughout the United States, will get to see how Inglewood played out today. You'd be so proud. You'd be so proud of your city to see what the world is thinking about Inglewood. I've been a businessman in this community for a long, long time, and I've never seen large corporations praise and was so proud to say Inglewood so many times and associate themselves with our city. And for the people of Inglewood, I feel so good about our administration and the job that they're doing. And yes, we're going to have a few people that's never going to see the light of day. But I guarantee you, when you look at your television sets today and check out the media, they won't be able to say one newspaper or one publication is trying to glorify the city. You'll see the world glorifying our city, and we should all be thankful for that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you get up and say anything?
Ma'am. She's already spoken. Well, ma'am, please don't talk out of order. We're going to close public comment.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Hey, brother, come on up there and talk too. Yes, so Happy New Year's to everybody. And hello, Wanda Brown. How you doing? It's nice to see you guys. I've been missing you guys for a few weeks. Everybody, hello. I want to let everybody get on the same page. Let's get everybody get on the same page. It should not be like, every time somebody comes up, somebody comes right after them, and you have to give some praise. It's like we're coming here to make a brighter day, and that is a big difference because there's not too many people that come to this daytime meeting. So I do think that you should have these meetings at night because not too many people are here. When you do this meeting at night, this whole room is filled up. There's even sometimes people waiting outside. So that is a huge thing that you guys should work on. And also, I think you guys should do a survey. Let the citizens see what you guys think, See what the citizens think about all these changes. See what they need to do to make a better day, on their blocks, We need to get this done because there's too much of a friction. This is crazy. I've never seen this before in a council meeting where you come and it's like a debauchery in the audience. We should not have that. You should encourage people to come here to talk, to express their feelings and not feel like shameful about what they're saying because somebody comes up after them and says, oh, the naysayers or all this. We shouldn't have that. This should be something that we come here to be peaceful, to be out on the same page and to work together. And it's a problem. It's a huge problem. And you should be expressing this. You're the mayor. You should step up to the plate and tell these people like, yo, we are going to make a change. We are trying to do these things. You should be over here stepping up and saying these things. You do not, and you don't have a big voice. I don't see you out here really, and I want you to get out here and show people like, yo, I am doing this for you guys, give them that expression. That's what they're asking for. They're asking for you to give them more. Please do it. I'm coming here and I want to see you do that. I want to see you give that. Please, what I'm saying? Let's do this, man. Create more programs. Let's make this happen, man. There's so many young people that want to give opportunities. There's business owners that are here to invest money into the city. There's plenty of things that people want to do to get on the same page, but you're not giving us a option or a platform to get on. And if we're here, please let us know what we need to do to help you guys make a better movement. We're here on the same page. Nobody's against nobody. I just want everybody to be together, man, because we're an ethnic community. An ethnic community needs to be strong, because if we're going to make that change, it's going to start. You're going to see it with the young people. Young people don't know about none of this stuff. My peers, I'm like the only person that comes. This is a tragedy. You should be reaching out to younger people so younger people could come up here and express themselves and want to be more political like you when they're getting to that age, Nobody's ready. Nobody's prepared. You guys got to step up to the plate and start making that change. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how you guys doing? My name is Reggie Jackson, and I used to work for George Dawson, and I'm a young folk in this community as myself. You know, Inglewood City is, I'm trying to start a nonprofit myself. I was just recently in jail, and Inglewood City booked me. And I don't know, the dude, one of the cops told me if I didn't say anything that he was gonna roll the windows up and let me smother in the back seat. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But I tried to start this nonprofit, and I named the nonprofit ING. So the dude told me, what did ING do for you? Like, what did Inglewood do for me? And I couldn't really answer because I got a lot of friends that go to Inglewood High School, and they scared to go. So they go to outer schools. Like, I got a cousin that goes all the way to Magnetic School, King Drew. So, you know, I think we should work on the community. And I really respect you guys, because you guys work, you know, I work with George Butts and, James Butts and George Dawson also. You know, and you guys are great people, you know, but we got to express this, you know, this feeling for our community.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Helen Taylor. I live in the 2nd District. And I have heard a lot of comment that seniors don't come out. Well, I'm very senior. I'm probably older than anybody in this room. But I do come out when I can because of the afternoon meeting, Tuesday afternoon meetings. I want to say that I feel that the afternoon meetings are good because I can come out. I don't drive anymore at night. We do have transportation from the senior center that seniors would come out. However, I know that, oh, okay. I know that some seniors would come if they know when the meeting is going to be. The only way that I knew for sure that the meeting was going to be today was by Ms. Lewis. And so here I am, and I plan to come to others. However, as I said, I believe that we would get more people that can come in the daytime, not just at night. It is necessary for working people to come at night, but it is also, although we are renters, we still have interest in the city. And I have known the city for many years. So, and I've also asked Ms. Lewis if she would talk with me and if we can get an agenda out or some kind of notice out. I personally will take them to every senior citizen building in this city because I like volunteering. I have volunteered for many issues and people in the city. So please do not give up the afternoon meetings, because this is the one I can come to, and I will try, and I'm pretty good at convincing people to do things. Thank you.
Thank you. Close public comment. Council comments, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, when I ran for this council seat, one of the reasons I ran was because I felt that we could do better. That's why I'm here. I come here, I come to work. I treat this job like every job I've ever had. If you call my office, you leave me a message, I will call you back. Those of you who know my cell phone, if you call my cell phone, I will answer you. And if I cannot answer you at that time, I will call you back. When I come to this meeting, we have different opinions. That goes in every meeting. There are people that's just going to have a different opinion. That's all right. But we shouldn't have to fight about it. The whole idea is to do the very best we can for the city of Inglewood. It has nothing to do with what I think or what you think or what it's what's best for the city that we live in. What's going to make this city thrive and become the destination it should be. Now, whether you were a favor of Madison Square Garden or not, the proof is in the pudding. Madison Square Garden has put Inglewood on the map. not only just in the States, but in the world. This was a grand investment. And my hat's off to Madison Square Garden because they have set a precedent. For any other person or any other entity that comes here to start a business, they got to compete with Madison Square Garden. The money they put in, the effort they put in to try to hire and make sure that people from Inglewood went to work, everybody else that come, they're going to be judged by that same standard. And I resent the fact that every time certain people come up, we're not doing our job. We're doing the best we can. And we'll continue to do the best we can because we're human. And people were elected to these offices. We didn't get appointed. So there's a lot of other people, other than the people who come to this meeting, that have opinions. And please give us the benefit of the doubt. I own a home here too. And I'm sure everybody on this deal own a home right here in Inglewood. We're not transplanted from somewhere else. We lived and worked here for years. We just happened to get elected to these offices. And I don't want to go on and save the date, please. District 1 will be having its shredding day, Saturday, February 22nd, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Police Community Center, B3, 2901 West Manchester, Inglewood, California. Happy New Year. I want to wish everybody a very blessed, happy, and prosperous New Year.
Councilman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of quick, I want to recognize Dan Zambrano. I had an opportunity to go towards the end of December to the Adobe. Great event put together there. We had a youth choir of young kids. I believe they were elementary school age there that did a tremendous program for us. And also we had some bell ringers that were there. So thank you for inviting me and for putting together such a good event. I want to encourage folks, if you're not a member in support of the Adobe, please contact Ms. Zambrano or the Adobe itself and join. And also take a tour. There's a lot of interesting historical stuff over at the Adobe that all of our community should be very proud of and informed about. I also want to acknowledge the Friends of the Library. They've got a lot of events coming up, and it's all based on volunteers. Again, I want to encourage those that are not members to please join the Friends of the Library. And also, our library is putting up several upcoming events, and I have a couple of these. I'll put them out on the table. If you don't get one, please stop by the library and pick one up. There's a lot of good things going on at our public library. Back in December, I also had a toy drive. I want to thank District 2 and other residents for their support. We were able to provide gifts, the mayor, the council members, for One for All Foundation. Several hundred kids showed up at the event over at St. John's Church on Florence, and I want to thank Mari Morales for helping put that together for our community. As it relates to people not knowing when the council meetings are, I always encourage folks, if you need information and you can't find a place to get it for some reason, please reach out to your council member and let us know, contact us, and we can provide you that information. If you live in District 2, you can contact my office at 412-8601, and we'll provide you with any information that you need. I also want to let folks know that coming on February the 8th, a Saturday from 10 to 1, over at the ICOP Center at La Brea and Sentinel, I'm going to have a meet and greet where folks can come in and set up a schedule, a time allotment of 10 to 15 minutes to meet with me one-on-one. I know I'm always make myself available, but this will give people a chance to actually schedule it, come in and have some one-on-one time with me. If you're interested in doing that, contact my assistant, Ramon Quinones, at 412-8601.
can I get a few more seconds, Mayor?
Certainly.
I want to address a person gets up here and talks about, again, I appreciate everybody coming up here, but sometimes, you can't help but have to address a couple of concerns. One is, somebody comes up there and talks about the leadership of the council and all that, I get that. But when you come and attack our quote, incompetent staff, that's not right. We have a lot of hard-working city employees that are committed to working with everyone, not only city staff and council members, but with the community to move this city forward. And I take offense to our city staff being considered incompetent. I don't go there. That's not right. The other one is when somebody comes up here and I don't know where this person's been for a while, but when you come up here and you say that the mayor needs to get out here and you need to make a change and comes and attacks the engagement of the mayor in our community, I wonder where that person's been, because this mayor does so much and gives so much time to move things forward in this community and works so hard. And I got to tell you, I've known this man for many, many years, and this is a man that's committed to being a public servant. And I don't think it's right for somebody to come up here and challenge and say for the mayor to get out there and get engaged and do other things like that. This man does it. So again, the mayor touched on the budget reports are out there. Folks, we've done presentations to talk about the budget and the state of the city. Again, if you have any questions about that, please reach out to your council members so they can provide you the information you're looking for. Again, that being said, I wish everybody a blessed and prosperous new year. Thank you so much.
Councilman Morales.
Thank you. Let me start by saying thank you for everybody who came out to my Christmas event on the 20th at Zeminski. Thank Maria Smyton and her folks who helped me gather up all the toys. We gave out about 400 toys, and we're still short about 50. We had to gather some more in the next days following that and deliver it to their homes. And I want to thank everybody, all the sponsors who came through and who brought in some other toys when I reached out to them. So I'm amazed as to how the community actually comes out, really enjoys each other, enjoys our resources. And I want to thank staff for going the extra mile and really setting that up and helping us through that. Now, the mayor clarified that no layoffs had been done yet, and we may or may not see any. We're still going through the final parts of negotiation. But there's a certain amount of information that gets out that can easily be clarified if somebody wants to call us and ask. We're all very accessible, and we're open to especially our residents at all times. I know even Mr. Mercantile came up to me and said we hadn't returned a phone call from my office, and I take pride in returning every one of my calls. If you've called me, I'll call you back, for whatever reason. So we got right on it with my assistant and clarified that. So that's just part of what we deal with now. In regards to disagreeing on a decision, when you represent 25, 30,000 people, the mayor represents 4 times that, you're going to disagree with some. That's going to happen. And you have to make your decision based on the information you have and do the best you can for this city, which we all do. Part of the decisions, are things like the $18 million for the forum. I'm glad that keeps getting brought up because it gives us another opportunity to say, first, the $18 million we weren't going to be able to use for any other use. It was redevelopment money, and we could only use it for certain types of project, and we were about to lose it. The fact that the timing was so perfect to put together with that MSG coming to the city of Inglewood is amazing. What we've seen a company come in, this is what you call a first-class company coming into a city and doing a first-class job. This is how it happens. Less than 2 years later, we see an opening tomorrow of not any group, but a group that is seen as an American icon group, the Eagles. That's amazing. This is how they operate. So those $18 million that we were going to lose anyway, that's an investment. And I'm glad every time it comes up because it gives us an opportunity to explain that. Mayor, I'm sorry, I'm going to need 20
Absolutely.
seconds. In regards to, first of all, I'd like to say before I forget, Happy New Year to everybody. You know, every time a new year starts, it's like starting a new year of school. You know, you get to sharpen your pencils, and it's exciting what's happening here in the city of Inglewood. Alex touched on how the mayor is he's completely active out there, but not only out there, but with the business community. And I'll tell you that we're starting to see the results. You know, we're going to see a lot this year. When companies show the type of interest in a city that we're seeing today. I've been here for 10 and a half years. I'm telling you, there's always been interest, but there's a quality in the interest that exists in the city of Inglewood right now. It's something to be excited about. While we see the snail moving because we're here on a daily basis, the results will be seen and they will speak for themselves. It's something we're all proud of up here. So it's given us some direct positive image on every news show. Mr. Brown mentioned we'll see it today. We've been seeing it all weekend. It's amazing how positively our image is being spoken of for the city of Inglewood. So it's a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Franklin?
I want my minute in advance, so you know.
Absolutely.
You know, it's interesting. You hear people make comments but don't have all the facts. And what's disheartening about how the sharp tongue can cause a detriment to the development of the city. So when people make comments about layoffs, and we just clearly acknowledge there's only been one layoff, there's been over 30 employees that have opted to retire the last month. The council did not tell them to leave. That was their choice. Yes, we are reevaluating the status of the core services for the city. I also take exception when someone says that we have no connection to the community. Clearly, we regularly get calls and address those issues, whether it's street lights that are out, potholes that need to be filled, sidewalks that need to be replaced, homeless encampments, slumlords where they have vacant buildings that is not being maintained, garage conversions, group home issues, RVs and boats and trailers on residential streets. And then we talk about what we're doing. And I have to tell you, contrary to what you may say here in the audience, I give kudos to the mayor because of one key issue. He has open door policy, and he is the first mayor that's ever came from that side of the building to the other side of the building and say, I want to talk about the future, and I want to share my vision or what's your take on this potential development. And that we were able to have an open dialogue as opposed to us being given from previous mayors, this is what I'm doing. And did not solicit and or seek input. Significantly different. I also want to identify that we are getting national recognition, contrary to all the negative comments we may have heard here today. But when Endeavor came here, we got national recognition. Now we got Madison Square Gardens on the Forum, national recognition. And soon we're going to have the Hollywood Park development. Again, national recognition. And more importantly, we're talking about economic values of the city, which is talking about jobs, jobs, jobs. And we're talking about local hires, which we've been pushing. We talked about capital improvements. When we identified that the streets, there are areas that need to be repaved, that we're moving forward to getting that done, particularly when you call up about your residential street and or sidewalks. We're budgeting for those things that you had taken for granted. There's a time when, just like you have a home, you have to save until you get enough funding set aside to be able to complete the project. This is an example. My final comment is that I want to acknowledge that we're going to be celebrating our 31st Martin Luther King annual King Day celebration, and it will be this Saturday, January the 18th, at Crozier Middle School. That's 120 West Regent Street. And the commemorative service will begin at 9 a.m. Immediately following, approximately 11 o'clock, will be a Outreach King Day Family Festival at that same location. I want to wish everyone a blessed new year, and not blast the city, but exhort the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. And I wanted to talk about a couple things. I heard the meeting of December 18th mentioned, and for anyone that wasn't able to get up the elevators, I apologize. We sent staff down to be in the lobby. Apparently we missed one person that I know of, but the actual meeting was held at 2 p.m. Mr. Bailey attended it. Could you raise your hand, Mr. Bailey? The only thing that was done in that I thought that was a 10 a.m. start, was to announce the closed session. And so anyone that wasn't able to get up, I apologize, but we did have people that were able to make the meeting. As far as the day meetings, I just don't see how anyone can purport to speak for the entire population as to who deserves an opportunity to attend a meeting. There are seniors, and I don't care if it's one or two. I know that a lot of you out here are seniors, quite frankly. They deserve the opportunity to be able to attend a meeting in the daytime if they choose to. People that work graveyard or PMs, they deserve the opportunity to attend a meeting as well. Everyone doesn't work 9 to 5. So I don't think anyone should sit here and so righteously purport to speak for the entire population because that's their preference. What's wrong with there be 2 opportunities a month for anyone that chooses to come when they want? I don't see anything wrong with that. Sir, you talked about budget and outsourcing. We haven't outsourced anything, but let me tell you about what our responsibilities are to you. It's to manage the budget. When I came into office, we had an $18.6 million structural deficit. We'd burned through close to $50 million in reserves, papering over a structural deficit. It was somewhere between $44 and $50 million in the last 5 years before I came in office. We have shrunk that deficit down to $7 million this year. $5+ million of that deficit is to pay retiree health benefits for something that was put in an MOU a long time ago that requires you, the taxpayers, to pay the medical benefits for an employee plus a dependent for life. And there was never any money budgeted for it. So what has led to where we are right now, we have to shrink the workforce because we don't take in enough money by $7 million right now to pay for those benefits plus the extra $2 million. Quite frankly, if we had a $2 million shortfall, we'd probably just pay that out of reserves because that's reasonable. That's what reserves are for fluctuation. But if we paid $7 million this year plus $8 million will be next year, within 3 years we would exhaust every dime the city has in reserves. We would have no reserves at all. That's not what you expect us to do. You expect us to provide a city that lives within its means. We love our employees, but unfortunately, people before us have made decisions that were not as responsible as they should be. And we have to have fiscal stability. Nobody's going to invest in a city that people fear is going to go bankrupt. And I don't think it's unreasonable to negotiate some alternative to paying some of the payments that we pay to employees that are retired. Those medical premiums come to $2,000 a month. Their premium PPOs, 90/10, and the city's on the hook for the employee, and if they marry later, a dependent that they didn't even know when they're in the city. That's not fair to you. This represents, we've done the math, over the next 30 years, there are over $390 million unfunded liability. So are we supposed to ask you to take a bond out against your property taxes that you'll pay into perpetuity? That's not fair. So we're trying to do what's fair. We understand some employees got to expect it and believe that they would have it. If it was meant to go into perpetuity, it would have been made a law, or it would have been put in the charter. It was put in an MOU that expires, and we're renegotiating it because we're acknowledging what everybody knows. It's unaffordable. So this is not about a choice between outsourcing and keeping employees. This is about safeguarding your money the way you expect us to and being as fair as we can to our employees. The best thing for the employees is for us to attract new business, new development to generate new taxes and new revenues paid by people outside the city to maintain services for you and a fair standard of quality for our employees. That's what we are trying to do. So anyone that tells you anything to the contrary, I'm sorry, that's just not the way it is. And those employees that left, many of them left because they feared the lifetime medical would go away and they wanted to get it now, and they left. They made a choice, an economic choice for themselves. No one was asked. We wish they'd stayed. No one asked anybody to leave. So we just have to get to the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that despite the things that you might hear, we're doing what you expect us to do, and that's be fair, and most of all, be judicious with your money. All right? I'm so proud for this city with the opening of the forum. I don't know how you felt out in the audience, but as I saw them turn on the LEDs of the building outside, that was an immediate source of great pride to me. when they turned the lights up on the parapet and put the record on the roof. And I heard from people that flew into LAX that they know where Inglewood was because they saw the Eagles record on top of the form. Was a great source of pride for me and the council. And then when they put up the marquee and you saw that Justin Timberlake would be the next act, who would think that Justin Timberlake 2 years ago would be running a show in Inglewood? I'm sorry. You'd say, are you kidding me? So no, we do have some things to be proud about. We do. And the universal sentiment that I get when we are all out in the community, that they get, is that people are proud of this and they understand it for what it is. It marks the return of Inglewood as a destination city, as a venue where top-class entertainment will come and where people will come to see it and feel safe. So with that, we're going to, I guess we have to recess the meeting because we're going back to closed session to finish item 2, is it right? CS2. And so we're recessed for now. Oh, one more thing. When we come back to close, we're going to close the meeting in memory of Chris Jackson's mother. He's a planner in the building. She passed rather suddenly over the last week, and we're going to close the meeting in her name. I don't know her name. Shame on me. Miss Jackson, I know that. All right.
Kathy Harris.